Alright, welcome to the Lamy 2000 video. I've talked about this pen before, and now a lot of people like my opinion, which is great because fountain pens is a very subjective hobby. But that also means that I can have a second take at my opinion. I can give something another chance, something that I didn't really like at the first go. Lamy 2000 is an extremely popular pen. It's really well made, but I've got some really good things to say about it and some things that are kind of a deal breaker in the sense that they haven't pushed me to sell this off, but I don't really usually pick it up. Now, because I didn't really like it, I wanted to give this video a very fair chance. I've started and it's been a while that I've started to do my morning pages with the Lamy 2000. I've got it inked with Private Reserve Black Cherry, so I'm going to show you a writing sample. But let's talk about what I really like about this design. One, do you know this is a piston filler? You can't tell these lines. Oh man, it's crazy. It's really well made pen, and I think even if you look at the way the two materials, they seamlessly blend into each other, the black part and the steel one. Oh, come on, man, this is an amazing pen overall. Is it worth the price? That's my point with this. But let's maybe first talk about, as I said, what I really like about it. And this is in a fine nib, right? If I am using a relatively let's say wet ink, this runs really well. This writes really well. But that is if I'm running a relatively wet ink. If I run an ink such as Waterman Serenity Blue, at least the fine one feels a little bit scratchy to me, and I know also the medium one sometimes feels like it's not giving out enough ink, right? So you're going to have like a faded line, and that's why I run a relatively wet ink. And when I tried this out, when I said, all right, let's give this another chance, let's do all my morning pages irrespective of how I feel about this pen, and let's do those morning pages with Lamy 2000. I tried it with Serenity Blue, I tried it with Lead It as well, both drier inks, and now I didn't really enjoy that process, but I did started to like the pen overall. Again, there are some cons that I'm going to talk about, but since I've started to use the Black Cherry, oh man, I think this is going to do really well with an ink like even Diamine Oxblood, Noodler's Black, even Pilot Black, which is relatively wet compared to Waterman ink, right? So I think this is one pen that can definitely grow on me. You press here, the clip works, everything just really works. The good thing again is it's a very minimal pen. It doesn't shout. Let's say you're sitting in a cafe and you're writing, right? This pen doesn't shout out to everybody, hey, look at me, I'm a fountain pen lover, hey, look at me, come here, look at what I'm writing with, right? This pen doesn't do any of that. It just works. And I think this pen is also extremely reliable. I haven't had any issues with this one. Of course, all the good pens are reliable, but again, I think these are like some really good things, and the overall experience is nice. Is it as nice as kind of the price that I paid for it? Maybe not so much. Is it as nice as some of the other pens that I've tried? Maybe not so much. But the more I write with it, the more I like it, right? I think it just works. I don't know how to put it in words, and I know many of you feel the same. It just works. This is an amazing pen. Now, coming to things that I don't like, which I think is more important here, because overall, is it worth a buy? Yes, I do think it can be worth your while, especially if you're getting it at some sort of a sale, some sort of a discount, definitely. But here is what I don't like about it. And by the way, this opens up and I can empty it as well. But these two clips, they are a big deal breaker for me. And when I say big deal breaker, come on, this is like a first world problem here. I'm not talking about they're a deal breaker, again, as I said, to the point where I have to sell this off. They're a deal breaker that they just feel a little bit odd. And because the way I write is slightly like this. So what happens is this one, on this end, on the right side, it just touches the side of my finger here, which feels very weird when I'm writing. And even this one just touches like somewhere here on my thumb. It just feels weird. Otherwise this pen is great. I think these two things are maybe I'm just like a crybaby on this, but they didn't work for me. And I think that might have been one of the big reasons that I wasn't picking this up enough, right? Because the writing experience is really cool. Another thing is I really like well done nibs. And when I say well done, I mean like nibs with some artwork on them. And this one, of course, this is like a silent killer, right? This, you can't see the nib. You can't customize it. There are those cons as well. You can't really do much about this, but again, this still works. This pen really works. And I know people have been using this like one Lamy 2000 for like decades and decades. So that's the consistency that you expect with this pen. So if you want something that's, let's say, minimal, if you want something that's office friendly, if you want something that's just reliable, this is definitely one of those pens out there. Because if you look at other fountain pens, minus a couple of the ones, like let's say you're not a big fan of nibs, but you would like to experiment with inks and you would like to experiment with fountain pens, right? Vanishing Point is another one. This is another one. Otherwise, the relatively normal looking pens, like for example Pilot 74, Sailor Promenade, they are black and gold. They work. They are also relatively minimalistic, but again, because of the way their nibs are, because of the way they are designed, they're still going to be noticed as, oh dude, you're writing with a fountain pen. This one can be passed off as a really good pen, and people wouldn't really know this is a fountain pen. And think if you want something like that, yes, this works. Otherwise, yeah, you might want to go to a store, try it out, and then take your call. For me, the more I write it, or rather the more I write with it, the better I am liking, the more I'm liking this pen as of now. That's the current situation, and I'm gonna possibly end up using this pen for my morning pages, let's say for a few more months, and that would allow me to cement my opinion of it. Do I really like it? Do I hate it? Do I want to sell it? Do I just want to keep it in the case the way I have for the last, I don't know, maybe 3 years? So that's what I'll know with time. But for now, I seem to be having a change of heart here. So yeah, tell me about your Lamy 2000 experience. How has that experience been for you? Did you give it another shot, or did you not give it another shot the way I did now? And if you haven't, do you think it's worth giving this another shot? Let me know in the comments below.